Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly welcome you to Marley State of Mind. You know what the fuck it is. You know what time it is, motherfucker. Let's go.
It's a motherfucking podcast. Yeah, it's a motherfucking podcast. Hey, it's a goddamn podcast. Yeah, it's a motherfucking podcast, bitch. Yeah, it's a podcast, bitch. It's a goddamn podcast.
What up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, Marley State of Mind. We're here at a Bunch of Bull Studios, and it's no different than the other time. I'm bringing a very special guest with me. We got Chuck G in the building.
What up? What's good with y'all?
What's going on, Chuck G?
Chilling, trying to get it done.
Indeed.
Running the play.
Absolutely, bro. You know, I like to start interviews off saying how I came across the artist or how I was introduced to the artist. This one's no different. And the first time I was introduced to you as an artist was I was with the homie John Basement. I went out Samaj. We went out Samaj's spot.
Mm-hmm.
And John was nice enough to invite me to one of his sessions. Oh man, that's crazy. Is that better, Belly?
Yeah, I think that'd be better.
So the first time I was introduced to you as an artist, the homie John Basement invited me to one of his sessions, and he was playing me some stuff, and he played me a jam. I believe it's called 70s.
Yup.
70s
Yup.
now. And the first verse, the verse that he played on there was yours.
Right.
And you killed this joint. I was like, damn, this is fire. I was like, yeah, I definitely want to hop on this joint. He said still kind of low though. I could hear it better. Oh,
Yo,
there it is.
there we
Nah,
go. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, let me know if that one's better, Val. And you killed the verse, and I was like, yeah, definitely let me hop on this one. You were lyrical. You rode the beat crazy. Samaj was providing the crazy instrumental.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely wanted to be a part of it, and I was impressed and kind of looked into your work ever since. And that's how I got tuned in with you, bro.
That's how I got tuned in. You sent me the finished product. I was like, yo. And it's like everybody's verse went together. You know what I mean? Like the energy didn't like go up or go down. It was like streamlined. And I was listening to it, and I like how the way you was on the beat was like it contrasted mass, because I was kind of like double timing or whatnot.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of like hitting it. And I was like, yo, this shit hard.
Yeah, it came out crazy.
Yeah, it did. Definitely. It's funny because paying attention, I was watching the first one of this one I watched was a Samaj.
Oh, dope, very dope. Shout out Samaj.
Shout out to Samaj, man. He, them Magic Hour joints used to have everybody there. Cause I went to a few of them. Man.
Yeah,
definitely.
That was so special. But yeah, I definitely want to take people on a journey, on your career, find out, how you got started and where you're at now to where you were. That's what we like to do here, and this one's not going to be any different. So I always like to start off asking, what was your first experience with music where you're like, damn, this is more than just music to me. This is something that I feel in my soul, my spirit. What was that first song or first artist that made you feel like, damn, this is something special?
Well, it wasn't even really a first song. It was actually my cousin Ace.
Okay.
He was he was doing this thing, and he was rapping, and in my grandma's house she had like 5-6 bedrooms. There was one particular room where we would all be when he would come through. And he just started rapping, and I just started freestyling behind him.
Yeah,
and it's like, yo, you pretty good at this. And so then, ever since then, that's when I've realized how much I like music. So I always liked music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like the first song I ever remember was "Children's Story" by Slick Rick.
Oh yeah, Uncle Ricky.
Yeah. My dad played that constantly. Me and my brother, we knew that. Like we still know from bar for bar. You put that on, we just rocking it like we wrote it.
Like you wrote it, yeah.
So that's like my introduction to hearing it and like really taking it in, because I was into hip hop, but I wasn't in it.
Right.
And you would hear songs, I would like them,
right.
But Children's Story for some reason resonated. I think it's kind of like they got the kids in the beginning.
Yeah,
it was kids, but my cousin is who got me into it, and then ever since then, I've been rocking with it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So you said your pops put you on with the Slick Rick.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of music in your family.
Yeah.
Music was real important in your family. You said your cousin was rapping.
Yeah, my
Your
cousin.
pops was listening to the hip hop.
Yeah, my mom, her favorite singer is Patti LaBelle.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I knew when we woke up on a Sunday morning, we heard Patti LaBelle and smelled breakfast. We was cleaning, deep cleaning. Baseboards, bottom of the chairs, the whole nine. Like we cleaning. But my dad, he was in NWA. He liked Slick Rick. Was it? I can't remember. Top Authority.
Yeah,
that's throwback. A lot of people know about Top Authority. He listened to them, but his favorite artist is Prince.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm a Prince fan.
Yeah,
you know
who isn't?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, people going to the Prince versus Mike. I always say Prince. You know what I mean? As a musician.
Oh, for sure.
That's how I explained it to people because, like, as far as entertainment wise, ain't nobody being Mike.
Yeah,
you can forget it.
Oh man, that's such a tough comparison. You talk about like
right
Mike versus because they're both kings in their own rights. When it came to music, and you just talking about how they changed music so much, but you know, from a artist standpoint, just Prince did everything. He played every instrument. He was just such a dynamic performer. Yeah,
and that's why I lean more towards Prince, just the technical aspect of everything.
For sure. Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned the technical aspect of it because I notice in when you rhyme, you're a technician of sorts. So I could tell you appreciate the music from that standpoint, from the technical standpoint. Now you said your cousin came over, started freestyling. Ace, shout out Ace. What up, cuz?
What up?
He came over, started freestyling, and inspired you to start freestyling. Do you remember the first time that you wrote an original composition?
I think I wrote the first one was probably like 9th grade. I can't remember the exact song. Mm-hmm. No, that's a lie. It was before 9th grade. It was around 7th, 8th grade. And it was hard for me to write because at that time people understood with like 16s, 8s, and all that. Mm-hmm. But I was always just going off the top of my head. So when it was time to write, I would either underwrite or overwrite on my bars. So I had to like learn how
to count bars.
Right. And if I couldn't count the bar, just know when a hook's coming in.
Right.
So then you would, get it right. But after a couple of songs, it wasn't too hard anymore. I used to write like 2-3 songs a day.
Damn.
And that's when you used to write 3 verses.
Yeah, right.
I mean, right now you get 2, you might get 1.5, but that's when you get a song, 3 verses, like down or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So I come from that school of that ciphers.
Mm-hmm.
We said you got to have skill. So it was always, big on skill. But the funny thing was when I like start listening to music, like having my own taste, I actually started listening to No Limit first.
Okay.
I was a No Limit head.
I wouldn't have guessed that given how your style is today. Yeah. The lyricism and things like that. You really don't think of No Limit when you think of lyricism, which I love No Limit as well for different reasons, but it's not the lyrics behind it. It's the other stuff, the bounce,
raw feeling, and to me, the most lyrical dude on it was Mac.
Oh yeah, Mac's still hard, bro. I don't know if you keep up with Mac now. Mac's still hard.
Okay.
And Mac's super, like he plays different instruments and stuff, bro.
I know that.
Oh, Mac's crazy. I'm gonna show you some stuff after we get off here, but Mac's crazy, bro. Yeah. Mac plays like bass guitar. He plays piano. He be remixing some of his stuff, just playing like Mac's hard, bro.
And that's my favorite No Limit soldier, so to speak. But once I start getting to high school, that's when I start really getting into like the lyrics because I start being around people like, yeah, man, y'all listen to Biggie because I was still a Pac fan.
Right.
Pac wasn't, people gotta understand, Pac wasn't super lyrical. He was straight to the point.
Right.
But it was his energy behind his words that got everybody his attention.
I agree.
Versus Biggie had a more storytelling and smoother flow, so to speak. So once I got into high school, that's when people was really listening to East Coast music. And,
right.
And that's when I really start understanding lyricism.
Yeah.
And like, what I'm saying, like there's like the craft of it, to actually putting this song together, like making it make sense, make it cohesive. Because a lot of times I will write something, this be all over the place, bouncing different topics. It's like, nah, like they gonna follow you.
You started studying the craft.
Yeah, I started paying attention. Like, why are these considered classics?
Right.
When you go back and listen to it, I mean, they create like moments in time.
Really painting pictures, creating, an artist like Biggie, like if you close your eyes, you can see the whole movie taking place with some of those songs. Right. On today's agenda, I got the suitcase up in the Central. You sitting there, you could think it like, damn, like you see the whole joint. Now, I did want to touch on something you said, which is very true. Like it's funny, like the difference
Mhm.
between music today and how hip hop has evolved. Because there was a time where it was structured where you had to have 16 bars, three verses, right?
Right.
And that takes a lot of endurance and stamina to
Yeah.
be able to write a full song with 16 bars and three verses, and also keep it interesting and keep the listener's
Yeah.
attention the whole time throughout that.
Right.
And the fact that you were writing, two or three songs a day with that type of format shows how you were perfecting, like you were really sharpening your sword. You know what I mean,
Right.
so to speak, metaphorically. You were really sharpening your sword, and that type of practice, that type of endurance will make you that much better because you're constantly working on your craft. And
Right.
it's been said here before. 10,000 hours supposed to make you a master or something.
Yup.
So you were getting that time in for sure. So you said it was after you started listening to like some of the more East Coast, the more lyrical
Yeah.
artists, you started to be able to structure your songs better.
Right. Right.
Started to figure out how you wanted your songs to sound. Also start to influence your sound as a whole.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was because at that time, about the 90s, West Coast was popping too.
Yeah,
And Texas was there, but like they wasn't like where they're at now.
right.
So
They weren't on the mainstream.
right, like you had a few dudes. You had UGK, you had
Scarface.
Scarface.
Yeah.
You know, in Atlanta around that time, you had
Outcast.
Outkast, Tella.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, people of that nature. So I was
Goody
listening to
Mob.
it, Goody
Different
Mob,
Dungeon
and
Fam.
you
Yeah.
would listen to them, and they were actually telling stories,
Mm-hmm.
but they they weren't preaching.
Right.
You know, they were telling the story, but keeping it interesting enough that you could follow it.
Right.
So a lot of times, people say there's no conscious music. There is.
Right.
It's just that a lot of times it's like you're preaching.
Mhm.
Like you can't use these super big words for everybody.
Right.
Throw one in there and get out, so
Yeah.
they can be like, well, what that mean? But if
Break it
it's
down in layman's.
right, especially now, like that's not the lane we in. Like a cannabis wouldn't make it right now.
Yeah.
Cannabis had huge vocabulary.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the fact how cinematic cannabis was with the
Yeah.
words though. Like he would do these things that would paint this crazy picture for you though. Like you said, he was one of those dudes who would use these big words, but man, he made it cinematic. It was this song. I don't know if you recall the track from the Firm where he was on
Desperados. Oh, come
yeah,
on, man.
bro.
That's one of the hardest opening
Verses,
bars I ever
yeah,
heard, bro. I
bro.
down there and still remember that verse, bro. Every time I hear it, I get chills. And the
Yeah,
crazy
yep.
part is, the Firm came out when there were still cassette tapes.
Right. Yep.
People don't remember when it came out. It was in cigarette carton, so
Mhm.
you had to pop the top,
Yeah.
and pull it out. I mean, but you had
That's
like
brilliant marketing, ain't it?
brilliant. And
Yeah.
I mean, my cousin Ace put me on to that.
Shout out Ace.
He was like, "Yo, listen to this."
Yeah.
I was like, "What's this?"
Ace was feeding your soul, bro.
Man, he put me and my cousin Leo on 400 Degrees Juvie.
Oh yeah.
He put us on that. So
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of my music was around him. But you're definitely with cannabis on that Desperados, man. If you just close, like you say, close your
Yeah.
eyes and listen to that.
Oh, he's painting something for you,
But
ain't
the
he?
thing with him is you need a dictionary.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I guess depends on where your voc at. Yeah, no,
Right.
hell yeah.
And a science degree.
Yeah, hell
he
yeah.
be talking heavy, but it be hard. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if y'all ain't never heard that one though, check that out. The Firm Desperado cannabis. Y'all see what we're talking about. Why that joint's so crazy.
Him, I think AZ's
on there,
too.
yeah. I heard a rumor, which
Nori.
I hate to believe it because I love Nas. Yeah, Nori's hook on there is crazy for me.
Yeah.
I hate because I'm a big Nas fan, but I heard Nas was supposed to be on that track, and he heard the cannabis verse, and he was like, "Nah, I'm cool." I don't know how true that is, Nas. I hope it ain't true, but
I hope it ain't true, but I can understand it.
I can understand it. Yeah,
Like for people that don't understand it, you have to go back and listen to his first bar.
yeah,
Like literally, he's going crazy.
going crazy.
And I can understand. You hear that, like, yeah, either I gotta rewrite what I had or I'm not doing it.
Like I said, it
because-
was so big and cinematic. Like just
yeah, like for real, you can cut the song off after that.
yeah,
And I'm not being foul, but
yeah, same.
you hear it and be like, all right, I'm cool.
Yeah,
Because there's no other verse that stands up to that. That shit ran crazy.
for sure. But let's get back into the Chuck G. So
Yeah.
you said you started writing. You was doing the 16s every day. When was it that you got that validation from people when they heard you? They're like, damn, bro, you got something with this.
In high school, I was I like my brother's cousins knew, but I was in an art class, and my homie from the hood, his name is Dice. We was in art class and I'm writing, and he said, "Yo, what you writing?" I'm like, I'm writing these bars or whatnot. And he like, "Yo, let me hear it," and I spit it. He's like, "Yo, I didn't even know you can rap," because again, we from the same hood. He's like, "Yo, that shit is hard. Hey, yo, come down to the studio." And at the time in Manchester, they had a record label called As One Records.
Yeah.
So I went down and went in the booth and spit something, and it was like, "Yo, that's crazy." And I was down there every day.
Was that your first time being in the studio setting and recording music?
That was my first time being in a setting where there wasn't no restrictions on what I could say, because I went to one down. I ain't gonna say the place, but I had spit this bar, this hook, and the hook was ignorant. You know what I mean? Like that was in my life where you first start rapping, you just rapping street shit.
Yeah.
You might not particularly be in it, but that's all you into. And it's
like you said, that at that time too, it was grimy hip hop. That's what Cass was on. Yeah.
And it was the easiest to write to. I could write about anything, but that was like what I was more familiar with. It was easy for me to do it. And I wrote this hook, and like everybody's verse was crazy. Everybody's verse was street. And the dude at the time, and I'll never forget it, and I still kind of hold it against him. He pulled me to the side. It's like, "Don't you ever come down here and record nothing like that again."
Yeah.
Ever. He was hot, bro. Like hot.
What?
Yeah, and I could get why, but fam, just tell me to change it up. But he told me like, don't like.
Yeah.
Basically, that's
like confrontational almost. Yeah.
And I'm just young. I'm still trying to figure out who I am as an artist. And he was just like, "Nah, bro, you never again."
Yeah, he wasn't even trying to nurture you and put you on game. Like, bro, this is why you shouldn't. But just
or fix it up. Like, that's too harsh. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Talk about death, which I was, but there was no, you need to fix this or nothing. He was just like, "Don't ever do that again."
I think that's where a lot of, and you can let me know how you feel about it, but I think that's where a lot of like older artists or older people in the game, DJs, engineers, or whatever it may be, go wrong with connecting to like younger artists, is because they talk to them in a way where they make it seem like they're better than or above them.
Yeah.
Whenever giving advice. And for someone like me, what I mean, especially when I was younger coming up, don't come at me like that, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it makes you not want to listen to that or have less respect for them.
Right.
And I've seen it, on the scene, especially our scene, where older guys who are in the game,
right,
and they'll talk down to it, or it's like, "Oh, that's whack that you do this, or that's corn." Like, bro, like that's not how you get your point across. All that's going to do is turn someone off from the message, even if it is correct. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
have you witnessed that?
Yeah, and there's like, I'm kind of used to people not liking certain stuff and telling me they don't like it, or try to just like give me unsolicited advice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but the thing is, it's not, to me, and I could be wrong, it's not that somebody's telling you it sucks. It's somebody telling you suck and then not telling you how to fix it.
Yeah,
that'd be the problem.
Yeah,
like that's just trash and just walk off.
Yeah,
like who the fuck is you? Like you have like, now if you say, "Yo, that was trash, this is how you can fix it,"
right,
I'm more inclined to listen because you got a solution.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bro.
Because again, like I said, I went through different phases. I used to do gospel rap too.
Yeah.
And I had this hook. It was real simple, real easy. And this dude came up and just out of nowhere, "You should change it." For what?
Yeah, why?
The crowd liked it. I like it. Whenever I do it, people get a response, but you should change it.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at it. He never told me how. He never told me why. Just, you should change it. And it's like,
bro, that's my pet peeve is,
right.
I always tell people, like, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. Like,
right.
You ever had that person around or people around you're bringing up an idea, they're like, "Bro, that's not going to work because of this," or "That's not going to work." And they tell you all these reasons it won't work, but won't tell you, like, "Well, how can it work, bro? Like, you telling me it's not going to work ain't beneficial. Like, tell me, like, what's your plan to make it work?" You know what I mean?
And I think another thing that is, there's a disconnect of a lot of the younger artists don't respect the older artists. Like in R&B, them singers can name other singers.
Yeah.
And they have reverence for them. Here, you know what I mean? Not here, but in hip hop in general, a lot of the younger dudes don't have that reverence. And a lot of it's because the older generation, they get paid as much, because people don't understand. Like,
you think that they don't respect the because they don't have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, because like hip hop is young, it's 50 years old.
Yeah,
like it's literally 50. Like it wasn't supposed to make it. Everybody was like, hip hop's a phase, get that out of here.
Right.
And it worked.
Yeah.
So when the KRS-Ones, the Cool G Raps, the Rakims, the Run DMCs, like they made money, but they ain't making it like the Jay-Z's and whatnot, because people didn't believe in rap. It was literally underground. and they didn't have the internet.
They
So-
also a lot of the artists weren't hip to business either.
Right.
Like it took like Jays and Dames to come along and show you like, yo, they're taking these labels. When I say they, I mean the labels.
Right.
They're taking the majority of our profit, and a lot of guys were getting 360 deals. And for those don't know what a 360 deal is, that's like when you sign a deal and the label gets a part of everything that you do. So if you're in a movie, now the label gets a part of that. If you're doing tour, the label gets a part of your merch. They get a part of your touring. So a lot of guys were getting these funky deals because they didn't know business either.
Right,
And like you said, because hip hop was so young.
Right.
Then it took guys like Dame, like Jay Prince, like Master P to do this independent thing.
E40, can't leave
E40. Wow, man, there's so many. I don't mean to leave any. Tech Nine, yeah. Shout out my boy Jerry Robinson, signed to Tech Nine, and that man Tech Nine be
working,
bro. One of the biggest independent artists.
Right, and I think that's where the disconnect comes from because you know, like for instance, Run DMC was the first rap group with a sneaker deal.
Yeah,
they got from Adidas.
Yeah,
and they went worldwide with no internet. And a lot of people, like I grew up, showing my age, but I grew up when there wasn't no internet. I grew up when there wasn't no internet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you heard stuff, and then you had to wait till it to come out. There wasn't no come out at 12, downloaded at 12:05.
Right.
It was, it's out. Go to the store. Hope it ain't sold out.
Yeah.
Get it. Go back home. If you had a CD player or Walkman, put it in.
It was a whole experience. You opening up the tape.
Right. Versus everything's real quick. So I just think the disconnect is the speed of everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
And how they did it versus how they're doing it. Because these young dudes is getting paid off this, and I'm not mad at them.
Some of them are getting, and that's the thing about it too, though. Like some of them are getting paid. A lot of them capping, bro. A lot of these dudes ain't. A lot of them ain't getting paid.
Yeah. Come on, we know the streaming numbers. We know how it works.
Yeah,
how much you get.
Some of these guys, and that's the thing about it now too that I find though, like a lot of these artists that are young and are trendy, they're only getting paid in a moment, but they're not going to be able to tour forever. Like you see guys like Wu, Redman, Method Man, like some of those older artists, they can tour and sell out in Europe, different places like that.
Just
still
out with Lil Baby.
Yeah,
but the thing is, it was again the craftsmanship and the time put into the songs. They created moments.
Yeah,
that's why you could still play South Bronx by KRS-One. And people, it'll go up. You could say go to down south, you could play a Scarface. The Ghetto Boys, man, playing Tricks on Me. Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day. Tupac, I Get Around. You could play all those songs and people know them.
Right.
If Pac was alive, Pac could tour. He wouldn't have to drop another album.
Sure.
If Biggie was alive, he could tour. He wouldn't have to drop another album.
Yeah.
But there was timing. These songs are made too fast, and they sound like everybody else. Like there's no separation. Like once drill dropped, everybody just like, all right, we going to drill.
But to be fair, so this is the other thing too. To be fair, that there still are artists who are original and doing their thing, and they're dope too.
Right.
And even at that time, you had whack artists that were around when those other, like back in the Pac times, you still had, you still had whack artists then too.
Definitely.
So not to take nothing, and you still have young artists today who make music that's like real, genuine. And I think it's just a separation because the radio is always going to push whatever's trendy.
Right.
But the real artists are going to find that stuff that connect with them. So whether that's today or yesteryear, you know, it hasn't changed. There's always been a Vanilla Ice. You know what I mean? There's always been those guys who are just, you know what I mean, cheese, who are corny.
But what it is everybody keeps trying to go from the booth to the radio.
Yeah.
You know what they leaving out?
What's that?
The DJ.
Yeah.
Get the DJ your stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Let them blow that up. And it might not be the song you like or the first song you give them.
Yep.
I gave shout out to Black Steel. I gave him a song I did in like 2000 and say probably like 2016, 17. Yeah. Trying to remember. And he
Black Steel, Black Steel's a legend, bro.
He's a legend.
Yeah,
and he still plays it to this day.
Yeah.
And he likes that song, but I would give him other stuff. He'd be like, yo, this sounds like the same as the last one as far as beat. It sounds the same. It's no rap on faster stuff. Give me something with bass. You got to be able to take that because.
But that's dope. He's trying to tell you ways. He's not bringing you problems. He's bringing you solutions. He's like, Yeah, I rock with you, bro, but I ain't rocking with this. This is what I need you to do for me.
Right. And
Yeah.
you gotta be able to receive that.
Oh,
So
100%.
but then these DJs travel. So if they start playing it everywhere,
Yep.
because I have a list in my email of DJs whenever I work on something.
That's dope. That's smart. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they play it, cool. If they don't, they don't, but they have it.
But they have it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's better than them not having it. Like, what are they gonna do if they don't have it? They definitely not playing it then.
Right. You know, there's one song I did with Barbados Black. You see it. DJ Big Phil love that song. He plays it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a little cool. You could play that on a boat, pop some champagne,
right,
and relax. But you have to go talk to the DJs. And they're relatively easy to build relationships with. Don't walk up to them and just play my song, or I'll give you some money to play my song, because they don't want to mess up the vibe in there.
Right.
So what you do is you go, yo, my name
be respectful,
is such and such.
Yeah.
And watch them. Watch the songs that they like. You can tell by what type of music they like, because they'll play it all night.
Right.
Oh, you need something to drink? I'm headed to the bar.
Yeah.
They say your name. You like actually
build a rapport with them.
Right. Go support them.
Right.
And then you build that relationship. Then you go like, yo, I've been working on this. I want you to listen to it. And then they listen to it. So you gotta involve the DJs. You have to.
And that's a part of it too, bro, is the fact that, you know, the older generation or the, you know what I mean, the first generation doesn't really reach out to artists and give them that type of advice that you're providing today. So hopefully the artists that are listening now that are going to come up are, you know, heeding some of that advice and not missing those steps. And send your music to the DJs. You know what I mean? Send them to radio DJs. You never know what can happen with that. And like you said, it's about building that relationship and that rapport. Like, music is different. A lot of cats post music online and think like, yeah, I'm about to blow up.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand that people, just because they follow you don't mean they support you.
Yeah.
Like dead that. Don't count on your don't count on your friends and family.
No, hell no. Those are gonna be the last ones to come on.
Right. I don't get it twisted. I got some family members that have come to shows. They downloaded my music, but I'm talking about your family as a whole. It ain't happening. You know what I mean? That, and you gotta be prepared for somebody to tell you that they don't like your song. Everybody's not gonna like your song. That's not hate. There's going to be hate, of course, but everybody ain't hate because they don't like your music.
There's music on the radio that I don't like.
Right.
But there's other people that like it, or else it wouldn't be on the radio.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So if you hand a DJ that, he might not like it. He might not, you know what I mean? He might not even ever listen to it, but he got it.
Right.
You did that. So if he come back, why ain't you got been gave that to you? But you did your job. But you definitely have to build a relationship. Like, people really think you just walk up to the DJ, you hand them their song, and they play it, and then the crowd go crazy. Like, that's movies.
That's not how it works.
That's how that works in the movies.
Right.
That's not how that works in real life. No, they might put your song on, everybody just looking like, why is this even playing?
Yeah, it might not go with the vibe, like you said. It might not be the time of day for it. It might not be the venue. It might not be the occasion.
Or it's just a bad song.
So
yeah, but
goddamn, it might just be a bad song.
But just get with the DJs. Check them out, man.
For sure. But back more into this Chuck G.
What's up?
All right, so we making music. You're recording.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you said you made gospel albums. Do you remember the first project or the first song that you put out for the world, or how did you distribute your first song?
My first song, actually,
project.
My project, like, I was doing songs at the time, but I've never, like, I was on my first album. I was on a compilation album.
Okay.
For As One Records. There was this song called I can't remember the name of it. It was like a love song. It was about like your girl tripping because you know she think you cheating.
Yeah.
And that funny is I just had gotten to it with my girl at the time because I was going to the studio.
Okay.
I was always in there. She was mad. I can't. I'm trying to get to it. So
it's difficult.
Right. So it was just, you know, she thinking I'm out here running around and whatnot. So that was my first time being on something that everybody could listen to, not just something
How'd that come about on a compilation? How'd you get asked to be a part of that?
Well, it was just in there all the time working. They noticed I can rap about different stuff. And I was like, I want you on this slow jam. So, all right, cool. They put the beat on, wrote it, recorded it, put it out, and it went well.
The slow jam happened to be something that spoke to you in that moment,
right?
Too.
It just happened to happen, you know. Yeah. And then I was on Whelmo a long time ago. They used to do like the Battle of the Beats.
Yeah, yep.
And me and my boy, his name is Tis.
Yeah.
It stands for Two Intense Sounds. He's in Atlanta now, but he's from up here. He used to him and you probably heard him, DJ Banger.
Yeah, yep.
They used to have they used to do a little clique called Club Bangers, and they were like a production crew. still got heat. And we did a song, we put it up there, and we almost won.
Yeah.
So I was on the radio once. I was on that compilation.
That was Jay Cruz and Charmin.
Right.
Shout out Charmin's from my way. Shout out Jay Cruz and Charmin.
So it was those were the first 2 times where I had stuff, but that was put out. And then I was rapping with 2 of my cousins and a friend, and we was called the Union.
Okay.
So we did like a little mixtape. So we just rapped over all beats, like all industry beats.
Industry beats, yeah.
Yeah.
Like some Jacking for Beats type.
Right, my man, R.I.P., rest in power to my man CE. He was on there, and we rapped the Knuck If You Buck.
Yeah,
we rapped the my boy Double Up. He rapped the Prices on Your Head by Young Buck. I rapped over Go DJ by Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Like we would just, but it was high. People was cool with it, but it wasn't. We didn't get what we thought we would get.
Right.
But that was the mixtape era, and nobody knew us, so nobody cared.
Yeah, you was just trying it out.
Yeah, like we
was trying different things.
Burnt CD.
Yeah,
it was unprofessional as hell. We wrote the titles out.
Yeah.
Like,
frisbee
that.
Hell yeah. Now you touched on something I kind of want to get into a little bit for artists as well. Like being an artist and being in a relationship, can be difficult a lot of times because, for a lot of artists, your first love is music.
Right.
And, for women or your significant other, they want to be your first love. They want to be your everything.
Right.
And when they see something else garnishes that attention from you, and you can't give them all of their attention or not the same type of attention.
Right.
And sometimes in hip hop, especially, it's difficult because you do things that are late night hours. Like a lot of studio sessions, people work regular jobs. So a lot of studio sessions might be late night.
Right.
Most often the show is going to be late night.
Right.
A podcast is going to be late night. Different things like that occur at an hour. And it may seem like you're cheating or up to something if they're not, if they're not with you in that moment. So have you found that to be a challenge as an artist, like maintaining the balance and the romance and being an artist?
When I was married, because at one point in time, I said when I was on gospel rap, me and my cousin Be Free, he goes by Urel Tifsim, great producer, dope artist. And at that time, we was doing shows every weekend at some church event or something. And my ex-wife was like feeling left out.
Yeah.
So I had to like kind of rein it back. She didn't understand it. Like I'd be, and then starting as an independent artist, people don't understand the work that goes into it and the cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do everything by myself. I pay for everything by myself. So I got to work to get it. But my current relationship, she's very not just understanding, but involved in it.
Oh, that's dope.
And
so you found yourself a partner.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's, in my opinion, I'd have to ask her, but she's involved because she sees that I'm actually trying to do it.
She believes in what you're doing.
She believes in it, but she sees me working it too. Like she was there when I was putting the finishing touches on my album. She sat in the session. She would listen to the music, give me the critiques, come to the shows.
Yeah.
If I'm writing and we like laying in my bed and I'm just writing, she wouldn't just be like bothering me or sign. She would,
give you your space.
Right, give me my space.
Yeah.
Just sit there and just, okay, well, what did you write? Can I hear it?
Right.
Stuff like that. So it's that, and then I got to find a balance too. You know what I'm saying? So I pick my days when I do. So usually if I do go on an off day when I don't have to work, then I go in the morning.
Yeah.
So that when she get off work, my daughter, she get off work, I'm at home. Yeah. But then there's times where I can't, so I got to do it at night. You know what I mean? Just to the musicians out there, just don't be out there fucking around.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to be at the studio or at the studio.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Because then now you mix in work with pleasure and you dirtying the game up. Like,
no, I agree.
Don't do it.
I agree. I know for myself. What up? What up, Daniel?
Yeah. It's my baby right there.
Yeah.
Hey,
I figured
baby.
as much. But yeah, no, I think that's a good point. When you're going to work, make sure you're working. If you're an artist too, make sure.
Right.
I mean, music can be fun and all of that, but it's important to get the work done too. I've been in sessions, that weren't my own because my session wouldn't go like. But I've been in sessions where I've seen guys do one song for like 3 hours.
Yeah, we ain't.
You know what I mean? But they drinking, they smoking, they got all the homies in there and everything, and they get one song done.
Shout out to Tina James, that's my cousin. if she's not in the studio,
I know y'all collaborate heavy.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
If she's not in the studio, if Danny's not in the studio, nobody's in the studio.
Right.
Because you come to work
Right.
or get some type of input. I'm not into bringing a whole bunch of homies and drinking liquor and girls all around. Like, dog, I'm not doing all that. Like you
Right.
said, you pay by the hour.
Right.
So if I got 2 hours, I'm trying to at least get two to three songs done.
Yeah.
You
You want something? You want something to show for your money?
The last time I did 2 hours, I got 3 songs done.
Right.
Knocked them out. Go back and fix them later, but at least get them recorded. Like, this is not time to play.
Right.
I'm not with that. I hate going when people invite me to their sessions and a whole bunch of people, I ain't doing nothing there but laughing. Just want to say they there.
That's crazy.
I
right?
ain't got that to do.
Just to say they at the studio.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just to say I was there. No input, no nothing. Just, yeah, that was hard. Dude can say something outrageously trash.
Say some outlandish shit.
Yeah, and you be like, yeah, what y'all think? Yeah, that's hard. No, it's not. Nobody's gonna tell you that. Nobody's gonna tell him he got too many words, and that's why he's stumbling or he's speeding up and he's messing up. Nobody's gonna tell you that. Y'all just there. Nah, if you ain't there to work, I don't need you there at all.
Then you just dead weight for real.
Heck yeah.
I feel that. No, I can appreciate that. I think that's important, and I think, like you said, if you're working hard for your money and you're paying your hard-earned money to get a finished product out, and you come out with nothing, that's a hurt piece. That's a hurt piece.
Hurt piece.
Now, when did you start doing live shows? How did that come about for you?
Around the virus, vid drop, and I was getting back into music. I did my first EP. It's called Fav. Fav is like the number for versatility. So every song is different on there. It's about different subject, different beat. Nothing's the same on there. And I was like, I want to wait. I was gonna go do an album, but it was like nobody know you. So why do a whole album if don't nobody know you? You gotta give them something. So 5 songs is easy to do.
It was just an introduction to Chuck G.
Right. It's not a long listen.
Yeah.
It's like maybe 15 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And I did that. And
is that available to listen right now?
Absolutely, on all
Go
platforms.
ahead.
Fav is on all platforms.
Chuck G5.
Chuck G5. Just look it up. It'll come up. That's the first EP I dropped. And the first place I performed at was at Rock Till Morning.
Shout out Rock Till Morning.
Shout out to Rock Till Morning.
Y'all gonna have to do something for me. Like y'all get a lot of shout outs on Marley State of Mind podcast, Rock Till Morning. What up, bro? What up, Monica?
Shout out, yep. Monica Rell was good. Got shout out to Shamar because that's who pulled me in.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I need to hit the stage. And Shamar was like, yo, come through. Yeah. You know what I mean? I met Shamar when I did Rhyme Calisthenics. I did that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's how I met Shamar. And that was it. And I got that performance bug.
Yeah.
But I also knew I had to work on it because I was horrible. Rel tell you, he said first time performing, I'm rapping, I got the mic up, I'm looking at the ceiling, my eyes is closed. What is he doing? Like no interaction with the crowd, just walking, the normal walking back and forth. Like I had to learn to, when you perform it like you sing your favorite song in hard. You know what I mean? So I gotta make you feel it. It's cool to go, but if I
you're performing.
Yeah, I perform. There's a difference between
you're
performing and performing.
Like performing arts. Like if you see someone at a play and they're just saying the lines, that's not going to make you feel the play.
Right.
It's the same type of performance that you're putting on stage. People want to see you feel what you're saying.
Even when you record.
Yeah.
Like that's something I had to learn was my stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I still work on because when I get up there and I'm done with my set, I want you to be like, yo, I need to hear that song. And when you hear it, like, I like it.
Yeah.
But when he perform it live,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one thing I'm always working on. In and out the booth, I want you to feel it. Like there's a difference of rapping it and then saying it like you mean it.
Right. No, I agree 100% with that, bro. And that's a thing. I mean, but that's whenever you're doing something and you never did it before, how can you know how to do it?
Right.
You know, I mean, there are some people who are just natural with things and they pick them up faster than others. But with performing, that is something that you have to actually go through in order to get better at it. And the more you do it, the better you get, just like anything else.
Yeah, the mistake I made with that was depending on the lyrics.
Yeah.
Depending that everybody's going to catch everything you say. And that's not necessarily true. Or sometimes they don't care what you say. Just how did you say it? You know what I'm
Sometimes
saying?
you might have to, the performance may have to paint the picture for him. You might do
Right.
something that you might make a motion that makes, oh, that's what he said. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
and bring it back.
Yeah.
So that was my mistake.
Yeah.
Because again, I like the words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they have to feel it.
Mhm.
I mean, again, that's what I think right now hip hop is missing is the feeling.
Yeah.
Because I tried, I ain't gonna lie to you, I try to listen to a lot of new stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like I don't like my daughter. she's into the whole drill thing.
Yeah.
Like the one song that I will listen to is Who Wants Smoke With Me by Nardo.
Yeah.
And it's just how it feels. They're not necessarily saying anything like hard.
Mhm.
It's more direct, but I feel it. I can lift weights to this.
Yeah.
I can run to this because it'll get you going.
Right.
And a lot of time, the beat is carrying people.
Right.
But when you take the beat away, I'm not feeling. I can listen to the instrumental if that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's the lack of feeling.
You don't like the lack of feeling?
No.
I know your daughter's your homie. I know you bring her out to shows and everything.
Yeah,
and make sure she's real involved in everything you got going on.
She on the album.
Yeah.
And I got my other daughter on my last EP, Gear 4, that was actually produced by Sin Beats.
Okay.
It was completely produced by her. And that's the first female producer that I ever worked with.
That's dope.
And she's, you know what I mean? She's not gonna rock your head. She makes dope beats. You know what I mean? And I had got my youngest on her because she heard her sister on the album. So
she's like, I gotta get on now.
Yeah. So and I was like, you want to write it? She's like, no, you do it. So I, texted on my phone, wrote it, and sent it to her. She's like, I'm gonna go upstairs to practice. She literally knocked that out in like one take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you might have made some artists. got the next Chuck G's.
Right.
That might be the name of the group.
Leah Too Pretty.
The Chuck
That's
G's.
the youngest. Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's fire. But back to the performance aspect of it. So you learned going through the motions of how to get there and how to get it right. I definitely want to get into some of this music that you got out. You got anything you want to play in particular? You want to play something off of Born Threat? Where we're going with it?
Go to Born Threat.
For sure.
I'm gonna play the second song, March of the Rebels.
All right, for sure. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
All right, so the March of the Rebels is basically about, the whole thing is more like it's more for Black empowerment, like a Public Enemy feel.
Yeah.
So when you fighting for your spot, your freedom and whatnot, you're considered a rebel.
Yeah.
You're going against the system.
You're going against
the system. So
system.
this was to energize the people. So because when the first bars is the return of the rebel, scores will be settled. Warrior in the garden smelling the rose petals. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in there, I'm peaceful, but I'm still a warrior.
Right.
And we coming back and things are gonna get settled. So it's all that, and it talks about the things our people been through, the history, how they keep trying to play us, and that's what March of Rebels is about.
It's funny, I always think about it. What up, Shonsky? Appreciate you, Velly. He said that's dope. He fucks with the concept.
I appreciate that.
I always think about it in a way because I was unfortunately had to be a part of the marches that took place over 2020, and I always thought about it. They get mad whenever we get violent and things turn violent, and I'm like, well, you taught us violence. Like, America doesn't go overseas and drop off people with picket signs. They drop them off with rifles.
Right.
And that's the way you get change.
And not only that, we tried the peaceful way.
Oh, too many times.
And it's just like I have a song about that too.
But yeah, we'll get
into the album because there's things about the album, deeper dives into it. But yeah, play March of the Rebels, which is my baby's favorite song. Danny loves that song.
This is Chuck G, Born Threat, March of the Rebels on all platforms.
All platforms. Tell me what y'all think after y'all listen to it.
It's a return of the rebels, scores will be settled. Warriors in the garden, smelling the rose petals, cutting the strings, pulling up bunch of pedals. Nothing but crickets when we show up. Resistance builds the muscles up. That's why for centuries we've been carrying our burdens on the way up, reaching for the heavens, ready to bring hell. Make a way out of no way. Blaze the trail, the dragon in the corridor, put them to sleep like chloroform. Ain't nothing you can do for them. Might as well pour one out for them. For the babies and ancestors, we do it for them. Whatever doors is locked, we'll open for them. It is what it is, ain't no open for them. Don't care if they're uncomfortable. Ask me if I care. They don't like it, I'm well aware. We with it, they should be aware. We feel no fear from their stares. Clear, they should stare. They can get walked on like stairs. Our conviction and courage won't disappear. We made our stance clear. You will no longer leave our souls bare. We'll never be full again. We want all that whenever we can. Carry, leave it there. We'll double back and triple that. Stand tall while we stack. Whatever we build, we put in black power in that. The source of fuel for every movement. All skin folk and kinfolk inside get to choosing. Every choice got a payment. Neither will be painless. This ain't for the glass hardened. You won't be stainless. You won't be stainless. They will no longer stand on our backs. We're here to take back, collect on our investment. We don't want your suggestions for easy digestive. Make it easy to stomach while we had to rummage through leftovers and come up with soul food. Only for y'all to turn around and gentrify that too. Said we need to pull ourselves up by our laces. Yet made it illegal for us to have boots or shoes. And when we did that, you brought in the truth to burn down, shoot, and loot. Then some red lines too. We know how y'all do. Post-racism where we won't be your fools. Move with enough force that when you send in your black tools, we gonna break them too. When you send your black tools in, we'll break them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March of the Rebels.
Yes.
Chuck G on all platforms.
And before we get any further, let me give everybody that just do that was involved in that. That beat right there was made by the legendary Shay Cobain.
Oh, Shay Cobain.
He made that.
What up, Shay?
Samaj made a beat on there.
Yeah.
No,
Samaj.
my fault. He did 3. Let me get that right. He got 3. So I went to him. I said, I need 3 of them things. He gave me 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
My man DJ Banger, he got 3 on there. Who else? Brother Mans, he got 1 on there. Roscoe from the Rap Cave.
Wiki.
Yes, sir. He got 1 on there. And that I recorded that at the Rap Cave.
Oh, for
because
sure.
originally it was 1 verse.
Okay.
And I didn't like it. It was too short. So I was like, I'm gonna do another verse. You know what I'm saying? And my lady was there. And credits due. She did the cricket part. That was her idea. She's like, is there some way you can add crickets in there? Roscoe was
after you did the Geppetto.
Yeah.
I like that. Jiminy Crickets, they ain't catch it though.
Nah, that'd be going up. That what and as far as musicians, Tina James is on there. Got Taylor.
Said our audio isn't great right now.
Audio ain't great. Oh, dang. But
make sure we stay closer to the mic.
Right. All right, there we go. Taylor's on there. Tina James is on there. I had to get Dre Dior and Shamar. We all 3 of us is on 1 track, and my daughter's on that track.
Okay.
It's called Run Me Man. That's on that. And we all on there. And that was actually gonna be my last album. I had a 3 album plan, and I was like, all right, cool. That was gonna be the last one because that's like where I'm at in my life today. But with everything was going on, I mean, my soul was like, nah, you got to do that right now.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it took long because I was BSing.
Right.
I could have had it done probably like 2 years prior. But once I sat down and focused and was like, I need to get this done, I got it done. And the way I arrange the music is every 2 songs go together.
Okay.
So that's why if you listen to the intro is the ancestor speaks. That's the ancestors speaking to an unborn child. Then you have the March of the Rebels. So it's like the birth. Then the next 2 is Wrath and Judgment, where it's the fighting the idea and being sick of racism. What comes right after that? Revolt, a slave revolt. So every 2 songs actually go together. So if you go back and listen to it and just listen to it in pairs, you'll get a message from those 2 songs. And that's how I purposely organized it and titled them, because if you look at the titles, they all match up.
Right.
Like even with the 2 slow songs I got on there, it's Love Me, Love You. And if you listen to that, I'm referring to the black woman as the reflection. You know what I'm saying? Because I started off their reflection. I love you wholly, not just sections. Work on your imperfection. Second verse starts with PS. So that song after that is Blair, which is the acronym that stands for Black Love is Revolutionary. So love me, love you, black love is revolutionary. Then you got Smoke section for we with the shit.
Yeah.
You know, all that being nice and you hit me, I turn other cheek. We tried that, it didn't work. So now we got Smoke section. Then right after that, you got Run Me Man because you owe me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything was purposely put together like that.
Right.
Yeah.
What inspired these thoughts? What inspired you to write this music at this time?
Everything that was going on, the lack of knowing our history amongst our people. You know, there's just certain things they don't know, and they needed something that could get them going. You know, something that's more, I wouldn't say it's positive, but something that's made specifically for them.
You were delivering a message.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not anybody can listen to it.
Yeah.
But it's for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something we can listen to and get you through whatever you're going through. There are songs to get you through something.
Right.
Or you know, give you that energy you need to go do it. You know what I'm saying? To charge you up.
No, I'm grateful that you are presenting that aspect of it. And I think a lot of time that's where we see a lot of the confusion come about, is because we don't have a true sense of self.
Right.
I find that's where a lot of our problems stem from in the black community, is not having a true sense of self. And it's a shame because a lot of the history books start with slavery when we have so much that goes before that.
Right. That's definitely, we influence everything you see today.
Oh,
like
yes.
if you listen to Destruction of My Soul,
yeah,
I talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the things with that, and Stan, I talk about the stuff like that. You know, the song Drapetomania. People don't know that there was a dude, his name was Samuel Cartwright. Drapetomania was a diagnosis he came up to say that slaves were crazy if they ran away from the plantation, that something was mentally wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that word alone. You would have to look it up and see what it's talking about. Then the hook makes sense to you.
Right.
Then the whole song makes sense to you. But we're missing a lot of that because we can't really depend on the school system to do it.
Right.
In Florida, you know what I'm saying, DeSantis is trying to wipe it out.
Right.
He's like, you don't have to teach African American history. And people's like, well, isn't that's not, we need to teach American history. That's part of it.
American,
You can't skip it, because what the great thing about internet is it's exposing a lot of people.
Oh, 100%.
And what I'm saying is, you're saying, like, there's a saying, like, they want to get rid of like American, like African American history, for lack of a better term. So I know some people don't like the term African American.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing. But for lack of a better term, they're getting rid of that history because now you get to see what Nana and Pat was really doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to shine that light that you don't hear about. Now we can put faces to the injustices that happened back then, that
and show how they still play a part in
right,
today's society.
Right. But now your grandkids could come up to you. Why would you do that?
Hold you accountable.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to get rid, not only just that, but getting rid of it, you can reinstate it.
Yeah.
If you don't know. That's why you got to learn your history. Even with music, you got to learn what the founders were doing, because they're just, these contracts and the way they're paying us is set up to screw us over again.
Right.
But if you forget what they
happened,
fought, what they went through, what they lost, and what they end up gaining, you just get played again.
Go back in the same circle.
Right.
Those who don't learn their history are doomed to repeat it.
There you go.
No, 100%. No, that's dope, bro. And I'm glad you got into that on this platform and this format, because it's important that we do have these conversations. And that's the great thing about the music that you're putting together. It starts a conversation.
Right.
And only through these conversations can we learn. I mean, sometimes you have to have a hard conversation, whether you agree or disagree with these things.
Yeah.
You do have to have those conversations, and that's how you learn. And I think you learn more from people that you disagree with. You know, the same way that you were talking about music. Like it's not cool to have a yes man around, because how can I make my craft any better if you're just telling me, yeah, everything you're doing is dope.
They're the most dangerous people. Anybody that say agrees with you 100% of the time, they playing.
Yeah.
Nobody agrees with. I don't agree with myself 100% of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I told myself that was dumb as hell.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Or that's stupid. Don't do that. I don't agree with myself. So somebody that's sitting there, do that. Every time?
Yeah.
Nah.
That's not real.
Nah. They don't even critique you a little bit. It's just like, go for it. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, yeah, you touched on so much, and the album's touching on so much. Let's get into another track off of there. What you want the people to hear?
Let's see. You know what? Play Run Me Man.
All right, but
that's a favorite. You see the star back.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Shout out to Dre Dior, Shamar, DJ Banger,
Right.
and Bella with 5 A's.
Told you once, told you twice, Dre Dior is cool, but ain't nothing nice. Shot me down so many times, so I resurrected from the afterlife. Lazarus bear bathing it, mastered it, now I'm more dangerous. A single clip lyricist, blame Chuck G for this censorship. Shot in the air to make it clear, so please nobody move. Reparations, bring it right here, before we start just letting loose. Y'all mainly the hot heads, but I'm the one trying to play it cool. The bar's on his last leg, most degraded on my pedestal. Here's a tip, show respect for every spitter that's on his track. I'm a Kaepernick on every neck just to hear them all snap. Feeling like I'm Thanos when I'm wiping all their visions out. Trying to keep my head low, but I don't want to tell my crown. Dre Dior on beast mode, making sure that they all drown. Stay down, we eat ghosts, just run it up when we get in town. But I can't lie or deny the haters like a pheromone. Now try to survive, my bars are like the Thunderdome.
They ain't getting none of us, so I'm about to run it up. I cannot be the runner up. I'm only chasing number one till moon go down and suck 'em up. Need to get a piece of sun. Sorry, here it's just begun. King eventually become. Bring me my crown. I need it now. Run it up, burn it down like Parliament right to the ground. Leaving ashes in the mouth. Used to talk about living wild. Come a little different now. Shouting with the flow. It's fantastic how I'm getting down. Silly rap bastards wanna yap about March Madness, but I'm more interested in a different type of bracket. Trying to stack a couple dollars, getting money off this rapping, and then own a chain of business. Now that's quite a chain reaction. Like Chicago sports fans when I'm prepared for the news. Man, my only real concern is the Bears and the Bulls. Now my stock rising like Ethereum and Joe. We about to run it up, stacking money to the moon.
Take what we want, ain't for permission. Running these routes, we gonna go get it. Double up on them and sold the sauce and lock the kitchen. Creating our own, we flipped it, whip it, triple the price. Ain't no talking us down. Can't negotiate, ain't no debate. We gonna make it happen. Send it away, you getting ran over. Death on the path, roadkill. The plans are sacred, moves are so ill. This is God's will. Our driving's on God's will. Stay the course, no doubt we ain't swerving. Switching lanes, we merging. On our purpose, run it up till we priceless and y'all worthless. We connected like cursive. We live in these curses, yeah. With hooks and dodge and jazz, we up 100. Check the board, you see the score.
Run me mine now. I ain't asking you, I'm telling you. Run me mine now. Everything you told me, run it.
Yeah, there's a slight delay in what we see there. What you, but yeah, so that's off of Born Threat.
Yeah, you heard on the
Run Me
the
Mine.
DC and the comic book bars in there that Drake
Yes,
dropped.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Everybody was spitting. Everybody came.
and they did exactly what I asked them to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's on Go Hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no cussing.
Right.
And I ended up cussing on one song.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you, but I ended up cussing. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Stream that album for me. And and that's why Dre said thank Chuck G for the censorship.
yeah.
He gave me a shout out real quick. That's why he said that.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
I was thinking of the title, and Shamar was like, yo, we should name it Ethereum. because there ain't that many songs. So I looked it up. Like, it's a whole bunch of songs called Ethereum. That's why he said, the stock rising like Ethereum.
Oh yeah, Bears and the Bulls. I
When he did that, I was like, yeah, my man, see how he talking.
Oh yeah, he killed that. Yeah.
And we did that, and then I just redid my verse. And Shamar, we all redid our verses before I put it out, because the one thing I wanted to make sure is that if you heard your verse, were you okay with it?
Yeah.
I don't want you to hear him like, yo, I wish I could have did
that different. Yeah.
So before I put it out, I'm like, are you like satisfied? And it's like, I'll do it over. I'm not going to do, man. And Shamar's like, man, everybody did their verse over. Why don't you do yours? Yeah. Boom, did it. Told my daughter, you got to get on here. Wrote her a little part. She added that little laugh, and she always like, the laugh. I'm like, that's the best part of the whole thing. Like, that's a maniacal laugh. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, shout out to all three of them for coming through on that. Shout out to Banger. Shout out for the Banger. He made the beat, and I recorded it before, and then I just re-recorded it because I'm just like getting picky, not hearing stuff. I like getting antsy. One thing I do is kind of stop, because I'll keep fixing the song over and over.
Are you a perfectionist when it comes to releasing the music?
Because I still listen to songs like, I could have did this, I could have did that, I could have.
You be having cringe moments like, damn, I wish I would have did that a little bit different.
I don't think like a hard ad lib, like, yo, I could do that in there, it'd be crazy. But
you be doing it post, like in your car, you be doing ad lib, like, man, that would have been fun.
Right. So I try to slide it in the live show. Let me slide that in there real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming to join us. What you got going on in the future? Oh, well, before that, let the people know how to get a hold of you, for any features, any shows, anything like that. If they just want to say what's up.
All right, what I'm saying, on IG is Chuck G. What's that? The little underscore 10. Yeah. Charles Grayson on Facebook, but you can follow my artist page also on Facebook. It's Chuck G. I'll be in a red suit with a cream hat, looking mad fly. Twitter, I'm also official Chuck G on Twitter, so you can find me that. You can DM me if you want to feature, if you want me to do a feature, if you need me to do a show. And also you can email me at officialchuckg@gmail.com. Whenever you do message me, let me know who you are and what is the purpose of you contacting me. Just people out here with these scams, trying to scam artists, lying like a mug, have you in there thinking somebody big label dude is hitting you up, and it's not true. So do that, and I am going to ask questions to make sure you are not playing me. So
that you're not the scam.
Yeah. So if you refer that you see me on the Marley State of Mind,
Marley State of Mind,
a bunch of Bull Studios.
Yes, sir.
Then okay, that means you watch me.
Right.
So yeah, that's how you can contact me if you need me for a feature. If you need, to perform.
You got any shows coming up?
I got one on the 23rd. Again, I'm running with the family, Tina James.
Yes, sir.
It's posted. I'll repost it after this. If you check my all my pages that I just said, it's the 23rd. It's at I believe it's the Bridge of Music. I think that's over in Millville. I'm not sure. I have to look at it again. I've got that on the 23rd.
Yes, sir.
And then I got one on October 6th. I'm doing that with Mr. Abel. If y'all know who Mr. Abel is, y'all need to get familiar. You know what I'm saying? GME, he doing his thing. And I got them shows, and I'm looking forward to do more shows. So if you want me to do a show, hit me up, and we can collab.
Yeah, make sure y'all go check him out live too. He's gonna put on a performance for you.
And we got to do something too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got to hop on the track and show out.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got to get on there. So I got a few beats just sitting around. You know what I mean? We can sit down. We can definitely put something out, because I'm gonna tell y'all now, y'all ain't gonna hear no new music until next year. I'm pushing this album, so I will record. I will be recording, but it will not be released until January 2024.
Make sure y'all run that up.
Yeah, so Born Threat. You know what I'm saying? We got that.
Yes, sir.
My most recent, it was Gear 4, and then I did 3 Heat. And then I also did one for the ladies. It's called Intertwine. It was inspired by,
folks saying get at them.
Nah, I'm gonna get at you, bro. It's inspired, by a beautiful lady in my life, and that was completely produced by the homie Brody Casanova. If you don't know Brody, not only can he produce,
Brody get busy.
He can rap,
yeah,
and he do the cover art. so he could do that. I go to him for cover art too, but the cover art for Intertwine was done for by my cousin Jahi. He did that. Born Threat was by Jeremy Moore, also known as King Tut. 3 Heat and Gear 4 was done by Brody Casanova. And if y'all notice the numbers in there, I got 3, 4, and 5.
Oh yeah. Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the numbers game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Numbers are important to you.
Yeah. That's a whole nother subject. We'll be here for another hour. We talk numerology and numbers and math. We'll be here for a whole nother hour. Let me get at you, Honcho. We're gonna wrap.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to have you back again. Maybe we will get into all that.
You know, look, I'm down. Just give me enough time. I clear the schedule.
Hell yeah.
I'll slide right through. We can talk music, whatever y'all want to talk about.
No, we appreciate you joining us. And
I appreciate the invite, man.
And you know, Bunch of Bull, we appreciate y'all for joining us. Marley State of Mind. Every Saturday, new time slot coming for y'all. Make sure y'all tune in with us. We're gonna have some new segments, all that type stuff for you. So make sure y'all get at us. Bunch of Bull Studios, Marley State of Mind, Chuck G.
And I will say this: these type of podcasts are also important in hip hop because this is how you can find new artists. You get information, you learn about them, and you'll particularly might find a interview so dope that you gotta go listen to the music. Yep. I just don't do music. If y'all don't know, Marley do music. Like he said, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just a host, right? On the show, I just be a host on a host.
But he get busy with.
No, I appreciate that.
My favorite song by him is I think it's called Roll On.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's my joint, yo. I heard
I
that.
Appreciate you.
Hey, yo, I was like, yo, you gotta get this to a DJ.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I
appreciate that.
Hey, I replayed that too. I know you're trying to close, so she should tell me to do it. That's why she's my manager.
No, you good. No, I appreciate you showing me the love. No, for sure. You know, like I said,
about teamwork.
Yeah, she's taking care of it. Yeah. I always try to tell artists like I got my host hat on, so I never talk music, my personal music, because it's about y'all. So, but I appreciate you showing me the love, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I definitely rock with you in a major way, and look forward to seeing everything you got going forward.
Likewise.
And I'm gonna try to get to some of those shows, and we definitely going to link on some other stuff too.
Yup. Shout out to Bunch of Bull again. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Until next time. 1.